Then what happens?
What?
Oh, yes!
So, we're getting ready to go with Slay the Princess. I know a little bit about this game, but I've been doing my best to avoid any kind of spoilers. I know that this is a game about making choices, kind of visual novel style, and I understand that there's like a lot of possible things that can happen or ways that it can go. I know that one of the endings or the ways it can go is you just go in and kill the princess and it's over pretty quick. And I feel like that's maybe not in the spirit of the game. Yeah, that's what we're gonna find out. Is why do we need to slay the princess? I think I've got the chat box a little off. There we go. Cool, got to fix that. So my intent with this, because it's visual novel style, is the first time we go through, we are gonna play and accept whatever happens as the kind of canonical, this is how my playthrough goes, whether I like it or not, or whatever happens. If I die, if I doom the world somehow, that's all canonical. And then afterwards, I may decide to, like, roll back and check out other stuff after I've gotten through one full playthrough. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Alright, I need to check the preferences. Can I actually... Yeah, it's full screen this. There we go. That looks better. We don't need to worry about any skip. Let's begin. This is the Pristine cut, which is like a director's cut that was released yesterday, actually. I don't know how long this is or anything like that.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, we can kind of like move things around as we move the mouse.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
All right. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this is a lot of options. Let me see. I'm not okay with the world ending. I'm not going to back out. I'm not going to do that. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about
Elaborate.
the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
How? Yes, how is a good one.
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and
Is
do
my
what needs
ignorance
to be done.
important
We're
to
all
preventing the
accountable.
end of the world somehow? What's the evidence?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far. You
That's
might as well
peculiar.
reach the
I
end
feel
of
like
your
I'm here
journey.
because you put me here. Alright. We should check out the princess.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
There's a possibility that we get hypnotized, and that prevents us from saving the world.
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Let's try and not get hypnotized then.
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all
I don't
of
like
us.
your tone,
You
but
make your
okay.
way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
How did she get put in a cabin if she has the possibility of
We're not
ending
going
the
to go
world?
through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
So this is the voice of the hero, my voice, theoretically.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Or is it? Wait. Am I actually the hero? Who is the hero relative to the narrator?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Well, I'm certainly not going to go in unarmed.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Alright, let's get started.
The door to the basement
I do think this
creaks
might be a
open,
little Stanley
revealing
Parable
a
like.
staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I don't appreciate the way you're trying to make that happen. Our cursor changed to have a knife.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Are you also part of the manipulation? Does slaying her end the world as well?
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise.
Do I need the element of
Look,
surprise
hero.
to slay the princess?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus
I don't
on
know
the
what to
task at
expect
hand.
about the princess's personality.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
No? Yeah, it wasn't
I
a
know.
joke.
You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
I think I should probably keep holding the knife.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked?
We can talk with a knife.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming.
Plenty of
us.
people are secretly monsters. Maybe she's racist.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Would you like to elaborate on why?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
That's a good
I'm probably
question.
chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
I'm not so sold on the idea we should get close just
so,
yet.
You should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
All right then. We'll be at a stalemate.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
We aren't not.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
What is taking the initiative? If she doesn't want to talk, I feel like I should slay her. I don't trust this.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
What's up with my hand? Why is my arm like that? That's actually what my arm looks like?
A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to
Ow.
sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding
I guess
on
she's pretty
bone
capable.
where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurt!
Yeah.
Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing.
Am I
Your
some kind of
blade
lizard
slashes
person?
through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
We're not really slaying here, are we?
We can still turn this around.
She has a bit of a point about she's tough. Does she beat us here if we try to finish? The third option is definitely nothing I want to do. I do not want to flee and lock her in the basement. We don't take the coward's way out. If we don't take the coward's way out, our only option is to finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there?
Bouncing around in
If
there.
the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job.
Who is our friend? How do we refer our friend?
The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh,
The two of you fall to the floor.
this was fun.
Neat.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
No, it said chapter 1 earlier, so I really don't think so.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh no, we really are in a Stanley Parable situation, aren't we? Chapter 2. Uh-oh.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
Yeah. Why am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People
Two
don't
of us
just
are meeting for the
spring
very
back to life
first
after
time.
dying,
Okay.
And two of us are me. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only
stubborn?
thing that matters is
We have
marching
the
up to that
hero
cabin
and the stubborn
winning.
and the narrator. How far does this
That's
go?
the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
Are we and the princess both a series of archetypes? We should go to the cabin. We'll only figure out more by
Before
going to
you
the
go
cabin.
any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do
I mean, last
everything
time
in
she
her power
punched
to
me.
stop
There
you
weren't a
from
lot of
slaying
lies
her.
involved.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of
If
a
we're a
fight.
compilation of archetypes, then what's necessary for us is to expand ourselves, to be as many
Sure about
things as
that.
we can be. We're a hero, we're stubborn.
The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear? Crystal. Let's just get on with it already.
I still want to have the
the
knife.
tighter than its exterior would
Wait,
suggest.
this is different.
Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination.
Black iron
The only
altar
furniture
with
of
a
note
blade.
is a black iron altar.
Wait,
with a
is that the
pristine
only
blade
furniture? There's
perched on its
definitely a
edge.
mirror here. That's noteworthy. And the mirror is not inked the same way. Okay, it's got like
The
foreground
blade is your
stuff.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Oh, stop
Okay.
bickering and just get on with it.
We should look at the mirror. I care about whether I'm being lied to.
As do I. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There
I'm
is
not
no
the
mirror.
hero.
Why would I lie about something
For some
so
reason,
obvious?
there
What
is a
good
voice
would
of the
a
hero
mirror
that
even
said,
do?
"As
You
do
waste
I."
time preening
I
yourself
care if
instead of
I'm
doing
being
what
lied
needs to be
to,
done.
and the hero also cares. Are we also the narrator?
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and
Now's
rub
when
your
we get to
hand
know what we
against the
actually look
cabin
like.
wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. So all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
Are we also the princesses? Are we like one convoluted being?
You take the blade from the altar.
Okay. What's different about the princess?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping
One of the
from below is
most
heavy
interesting
and
things
oppressive,
about this is going to be,
with an almost
do our actions in
sulfuric
one
odor to it.
permutation have an effect in the next
the princess
permutation,
lives here,
or
slaying her
are
will
we
probably be doing her a
rejoining the
favor.
same cycle? How many flags are we
Her
triggering?
fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
She's changed. Her font is different.
This isn't what she sounded like last time.
Yeah.
Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening. Good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As
Are
much as I
we
appreciate
pushing the princess in a
enthusiasm,
direction
just make
every
sure
time we
you don't let
interact?
Your bloodlust gets to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you
Yeah,
descend
it's the way
final
she
step,
sounded at the end of the fight.
form of the princess
She's got
comes
horns and
into
a
view.
tail now.
A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping
Again?
to find your way back
Interesting.
here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
How many times have you been slain? Did she get slain enough to learn how to fight back?
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
No, we're not going to engage with that. I don't need to engage the narrator here as much as the princess.
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
See? She wants to fight us again. Alright. Fine. I believe you. What?
The narrator
You said
believes
earlier
us?
in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. But that's all the more reason to take this
It would be
serious.
interesting if this entire series of permutations is all one set of lies by the princess from the origination.
You don't know. Whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And
Maybe
beyond
us
that,
killing her
you
in
know
the
who
first
doesn't
place
remember
was an
anything that
illusion.
happened last time.
But we
Me.
spoke to the narrator
I
before we
don't
entered.
Remember.
Unless we attempted to slay the princess and became caught in an illusion before we became aware of ourselves as the character.
Are you okay?
The narrator's
Of
frustrated.
course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
You don't know the depths of my apathy. I'm not going to lie.
I know. You and the princess, you don't have to be so snarky.
I'm not saying I'm not here to fight, but we have to unpack this.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking.
You
done.
knew this was going to happen, though.
Don't you get it?
So how much have
We've
you
been
done?
given free reign to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Let's see.
You look exactly the same.
That's true, I'm still a lizard person.
And why not? You decided what to do with me quickly enough last time. Are you scared I'm going to kill you again? Maybe you're worried I'll put you down for good this time. If you want to talk, I guess I can talk. But you should come a little closer first.
I need to get more out of her to make progress. She might try to crack my neck here.
In your hand, you take a cautious step towards the princess.
She's got more cheekbone.
You
going
stop
on.
a few feet short of her reach, her chains taut as she stares down at you.
Taller too, I think.
She's a lot bigger than I thought she was. Why do you sound so scared? We can take her.
Well,
It doesn't
what
matter
do
if
you
we
want?
can.
Because every second we waste talking is a second we could spend killing each other instead.
Yeah, why do you want us to kill each other? What happened after you died is a thing. We have to figure out why we're here. Reasons. Okay, we might be able to go through a lot of this, but yeah, why do you want us to kill each other?
Why wouldn't I want that? Why don't you want that? It felt good last time. It felt right.
Okay.
And it makes sense.
How does it make sense?
I woke up, didn't you?
Okay, so same thing. Seems about right. The basement is different.
I like it. It's so cramped. Like the only way out of here is through each other. I know. You already told me.
Don't you care about what you are?
Ugh, I care, okay? I guess I just care differently than you. When I saw you come back down here, I thought you would understand. I thought that we would want the same thing.
I want to understand.
But all you've done is ask me annoying little questions. It's like you don't even want to enjoy being alive.
Oh, I wish you could hear me right now.
What is the reason she's here?
I don't need to care, because I already know what I am. I've already found my purpose.
Which is?
The princess flashes a sinister grin.
You.
Does she mean... No, she means fighting us. She would just start stabbing...
Alright, let's fight. Let's keep fighting. Does this become more exacerbated? Or does it
Finally
change
ready to
around?
complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count. Oh, we'll make it count, all right. As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red
Changing it all.
blood. But she's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor. You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact. She almost looks disappointed.
We're not strong enough.
Why is she
We can't
disappointed
keep
in
up
us?
with her.
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me.
Kinda, yeah.
It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head.
Alright, let's do it.
Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win. She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win.
I actually agree with the
Only
stubborn on
way.
this.
If that's your plan, then that's your plan. You push off the ground. You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this.
We can't
Just
push through
keep
bone.
Pushing. We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm. You pull back on the blade's hilt, doing your best to free it from its sinewed prison. But as you tug the blade free, the princess slams you down onto her knee.
Ow. We just get baned.
It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. And you find yourself in midair, effortlessly tossed across the room. You hit the floor, your ribs complaining painfully, but you can feel the hilt in your grip. You still have your weapon.
Her chest wound healed.
You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to
Our
outplay,
cursor
slash
blade
out and leaving red
has
cuts
blood
and
on it.
tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last. This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her.
Can we actually do that? Is that within our
She's
wheelhouse?
throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
Own this place. Whoa.
The
That's a
princess's
phrase.
arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
Alright, what do you want to do next time?
Squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull, and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 3, The Eye of the Needle.
You're on a path in the wood. If you
This
weren't
doesn't
so
look like the
damned
woods.
afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive.
Voice
We
of
died
the
because
hunted.
You didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you
Yeah,
have
I don't
any
like that.
idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
So theoretically, the narrator is new every
I don't
time,
like
but
staying
we
still
add
for too
voices
long.
in our head.
Let's get to the cabin.
Reminds
See
me of
this
Disco
through.
Elysium.
It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason.
Unfortunately, I've already played through more than enough of Disco
You
Elysium
may have the
to
same
have
destination,
difficulty
but
enjoying a
maybe
second
the same.
playthrough. It's very much a
You
game
are
about
still
revelation,
another.
but
And I don't
I've heard very
trust
good
you.
things about Pentiment. We'll be playing that probably towards December. It is also possible the narrator's lying. These definitely aren't woods. Yes, I agree that all of our answers are in the cabin.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase.
Something to chase.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly
interesting.
tight.
Yeah, the hero
More
was
of
the
a
first
glorified
drop.
tunnel than a building. Its stone walls
So
squeeze
we
against
still have a
your
mirror.
sides, leaving you
Now the
no
mirror
choice
is in
but
our
to
way.
press
We
forward.
cannot not
The only
interact with the
furniture
mirror.
of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall. A pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right.
This has been said every time.
See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there.
What if the hunted is a lie to make me let the princess
Take
out?
it. Maybe it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. No use arguing. Mirror or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter. I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. And work.
Should I keep the blade?
We can try to survive without our steel claw.
What if we don't
But you've
have the
marked us
blade?
as easy prey. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there. It's right in front of you. This really is just like last
Who
time.
am I?
It smells of nothing, yet it's still there. You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping
How do
against
we
the floor
actually
as it reveals
interact
the
with the
dim
mirror?
path ahead. Why am I not surprised? It was in our way.
What's
and
the
now
princess
it's not.
like
That's
now?
all that
Does she
matters.
still want to fight?
Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing
Are you the
show.
same if I don't kill
I
you?
know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
But that wouldn't be fun. I don't want to be a monster chasing you down. I want to face you head on. I want an equal. It's so much better that way.
We need to get closer. She needs to see us to give chase. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult
Hunted's
journey,
plan is
gripping the stone,
peculiar.
lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her.
Try
Turn
climbing
to
without
face
the
what
blade
lies at
coming
the end
back
of the narrow
out.
tunnel.
She's a little more
Princess,
demonic.
imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face droops.
I didn't bring the knife.
There you are. But this time you don't even have that little knife. Do you think this is a joke?
You aren't taking this seriously.
Do you need me to break those fragile bones again to remind you how serious this is?
She's bubbling, hot with rage. We can't get close if we want to live. But we'll be able to draw her out of here.
Yeah, it's feeling a bit more draconic this time. The tail especially.
I know I said this earlier, but I really have to stress how thin of a razor's edge you're on right now. We know the only way out is through the eye of the needle.
That's the chapter title.
And we're going to win. We'll need the steel claw. Grab it as we leave. Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run.
Let's try and discipline her.
Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Alright, so we probably don't have to worry about her slipping away.
You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same?
Steelclaw, now. Without missing a step, you grab the blade from the altar.
So you do want to fight me? Good.
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline.
We
as
have
you
to get
burst
all of
through the
ourselves to
cabin door
act in unison.
and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me. Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you. You leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on? Brave and foolish.
Her body braces for impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now. As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike.
Time to be clever,
Before you
princess.
can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again.
You can't just be a brute, even if you might be able to control reality.
This time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned. We're actually going to pull this off, aren't we? You just might. But don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
I think I'd prefer not to die this time. What if I don't die?
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again.
Might not
and
be a
again.
choice.
She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady. More! Keep going! We can't stop now! You spy an opening.
Uh-oh.
She's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us!
I think they might actually matter.
But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you?
That was the idea.
Something feels wrong. Something.
And? Then what happens?
What the... What? The... What? Is that what happens when I die, too? Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
That was really something.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
The narrator's gone.
He is. Does that mean the world ended?
Wait, you have to slay the princess or the world will end. And something happened to the princess and the world ended. The princess is somehow a linchpin of reality?
It hasn't ended. We're still here.
I'm not sure if that's correct.
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going. I'm begging you, don't do this.
We have to look at the mirror.
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Too bad, buddy.
The thing reeks of death. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
This isn't voiced, and it's in a different font. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. The body. We're a gangly thing. We're very strange. I think we have, like, 4 limbs. The world is the narrator's world. If the story ends, yeah, I think that's correct. You are alone in a place that is empty. It's quiet here. We can proceed to the cabin. We're still in the Eye of the Needle, the same chapter.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
So you're the real princess, the true princess, right? Something like that? Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
All right. What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I am every story ever told. Yeah, I'm a person.
A person, a set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person.
How are you unlike a person?
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
How much of an author of this are you?
Stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
What is the fragile vessel? Is that the princess that we slayed?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own.
You're able to integrate with princesses who die.
This one remembers a spark lost in time, and she would stop at nothing to reclaim it. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally remembered what she thought she'd lost.
Yeah, I think both she and I are, in some sense, archetypes.
I know only that they are.
You know about worlds beyond here.
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
You feel things that the princess feels? As you're both the same.
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Well, I'll see you again soon. You raise your will to end your life, but as it buries into the space your body should be, you feel nothing at all. One of the many hands in front of you reaches forward and gently touches the side of your face.
There's nowhere for you to be but here. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
And you send me there.
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
Will forgetting return me to where I was?
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
We need more variety.
More than you have found, but less than there are to find.
All right. Do it.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
It's possible that she is doing something devious, but I choose to believe her when she says that she has come into being because a vessel was offered to her, and prior to that, she does not have a motive. A burning heart, bring the eye of the needle to her.
You're on a path in the woods.
The real
And at
Slay
end
the
of that
Princess
path
starts
is a
here.
cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
We were able to witness the mirror before we were able to enter it, for at least one loop prior.
You're here to slay her.
Sure. I can hit tab to skip previously seen dialogue.
Don't mention it.
Okay,
It's all
thank
part
you.
of the job. You make your way up the short path. We're not going to go through with this, right?
I'll go down without the blade. We'll talk to her. I need her to be different. I need her to be less
The door to
combative.
the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place.
If I hit tab, it doesn't skip, so something about this is unseen.
Rot filtering from the ancient wood. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
She's more nervous this time.
It's hypnotizing. Don't let it fool you. It's all part. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what you walk down the stairs and lock eyes.
Her eyes are
with the
different too.
princess.
Her build
There's a
is
heavy
more
chain
slight
around her
than even the
wrist,
first time I saw her.
binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful.
I
How could
don't
someone
think
like
it's
this be a threat
possible
to anyone?
for her to rejoin with herself unless she dies.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot
You don't
more
know
here.
anything. The narrator has no idea.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
No, I don't think that's wise.
Okay.
What is your name?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her
We're
words
still some
before
kind
she
of creature.
responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named
He's an
Princess
Adventure Time
Princess?
character. What have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
I think it matters.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Okay, so I can retrieve the blade. Yada yada. Okay, let's see. Is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
Do you know your name?
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be
Don't rush me.
trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
I can't give her a name. It would be irresponsible to do so anyway. There's something about you that doesn't feel right. I wanted to see you for myself. I think she is dangerous. It feels like a mistake to presume that she's not dangerous. Her purpose. She's something that's not quite a person. There's something about you that doesn't feel right.
Would everything feel right about you if you were locked away in a hole by yourself for as long as you can remember?
How far can you remember?
Just how long has she been down here?
Yeah, that's a good question. How long?
So, did they tell you why I'm supposed to be so dangerous?
You end the world somehow. I was hoping you'd tell me.
I don't know how to destroy the world, if that's what you're getting at.
I believe her.
You don't know how,
She doesn't
but
have
somehow
to know
you
how
can.
to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
We're talking like this to an extent because we need to change her.
So this shouldn't be
Into
about
another
what
kind
I'd
of host.
do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me.
This shouldn't be about...
This is about
What
how
should it
messed
be
up this
about?
whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to?
You'd have to tell me.
We both know that if there's people
I
we
don't
can't
think it's
trust in
because
this
she wants
situation,
to. It's
whoever
something
locked
about
me
the
down
nature
here.
of
And
what
it's
she
whoever sent
is.
you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything.
What do you mean a subjugating
all for the sake of
monarch?
One person.
That's
And a
indicating that you know
subjugating
something
monarch,
about her
yes.
role. What if we stall?
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Well, how long have you
Her
been
alive
down
is
here?
Too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
This incarnation can't break the
So
chains.
I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here.
That's a
It would
turn.
make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
I don't need you to be like that.
You have to make a choice.
Hmm.
You can't be serious.
We've already dealt with her in a violent way.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this, I promise.
You're making a huge mistake.
That's fine. If she kills us, we can take
No.
another look at this.
I think you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe
No.
it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just
Who locked?
left
What
the
do you
key
mean,
to her chains
whoever?
somewhere in the
Who
camp.
did it? That's important.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
Yeah, that is peculiar, isn't it?
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about.
I'm not
cutting
sure
our
we
way out if
would.
It meant we could
I'm
finally
not
be
certain we
free.
would. The
You
princess
attempt
is
to make your way
distinctly
out of the
not
basement,
dainty.
But the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click
Oh.
of the lock sliding into place.
Somebody else has locked us down here?
Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and plead. You're here to slay the princess.
Is that so? Okay.
You make your way to the bottom of
We're
the
locked
stairs.
down here too.
This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom?
Easier for whom indeed?
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Who is they? This is what we get for asking what she eats.
There's a
Ah, that
soft
would be
hand
something.
rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
We're both monsters. What if slaying the princess is necessary so that I don't end the world, somehow? Wasn't it something about slay the princess or the world will end?
It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or
No.
we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
I want to see what happens if we do that.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh.
Can we actually cooperate?
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
Somehow, we and the princess are both monsters, and there's a third party involved.
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling?
Maybe we can bind
after
that later,
everything?
but it's probably
It's like
okay.
she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't
Is that
just let her
so?
escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward. And
The
raises
narrator
the
can
blade.
force my actions.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Interesting.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges
Figuring it
forward,
out.
the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect.
So the narrator has partial control
Stop it.
over me.
Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
Come on, princess, kill me. We can advance. We can reach another
Oh,
permutation.
no, this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Cool.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
It's fine, just try again.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful
Yeah,
death
it's
is some
fine.
sort of
Doomed everyone,
heroic
whatever.
gesture. The two of you have literally
The two of us have
everyone.
doomed everyone. The two of you have doomed everyone. What?
Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again.
That's such a
and
weird
again.
thing to say.
You feel
It's not
every
you've allowed
inch
her to destroy the
burning pain
world.
that
It's the
slices its
two of
way
you
into your body.
have doomed everyone.
I'm sorry.
That's a bit funny.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
Not this one.
Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your
Yeah, I
ruined
think so.
chest,
as tears carve rivulets
Real
of pink
bodies
down her
trapped.
blood-spattered
Yeah, I think
cheeks.
we might be the same kind of entity that she is.
It can't just end like this, right?
There has to be something about us that indicates why we're here.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently,
But it's not
I
over.
can't deny the reality of what's happened.
There's quite the mystery to
You
dig
made
into
your
here.
choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
All right, let's go see her. So this version is the damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her.
Understood.
A warning. Before she will lie, she will cheat,
yeah.
and if only you knew what you did to us.
Voice of the
villain.
smitten.
Excuse me? Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart. Last time? I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do. But I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must
You
be
can't be allowed to
expressed.
get carried away.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hit. Don't pay their bickering any mind.
Let's go in. All right.
The
I think I know what
interior
I
of the
want to
cabin
do.
is clean and elegant. Its stone walls draped
This is
in
not the
fine
same as the
threaded
second
tapestries.
interior from last
A
game.
prison befitting a. The blade is your.
Yeah, we'll take the blade this time.
You take the blade.
The
from
mirror's
table.
okay, it's there.
I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, hopefully it doesn't put. There's no use arguing over motivate.
Let's go in. The mirror disappeared as we did. All right.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing
Torches,
an
that's
intricate
new.
stairwell. But it's still a stone basement. A soft voice.
Hello?
Her voice. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a
Bit much, don't you think?
We don't even know the princess. We can still do. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that you walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust
Voice of the
foul
sim.
imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Okay, so
You
you're
hear that?
aware of us.
She said we're dashing, and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple times.
That's right, villain. And you killed us.
Kinda,
Well,
yeah.
She
Yeah.
killed us.
It was a
Because
double
he
fault.
made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained. by
Only one of her
blood.
hands, actually.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. We damned a whole world. Nothing resets.
Yeah,
You're just
we
somewhere
jump.
else. You can't keep hopping between worlds
I think
forever.
we can, actually.
Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you.
What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
Did the world end?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
I don't appreciate the
Isn't
inclination that
just
you're
like
trying to
our
make us
darling
happy.
Princess, are you listening to her? That's a confession. The princess's eyes quiver as she waits for your response.
I didn't end the world? I didn't end the world.
She's clearly just saying what she thinks you want to hear. Or she's innocent. Blade in hand, you run the princess down. Wait.
Your
no.
turn.
You barbarian, what do you think you're doing? But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and press on. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as you approach, but she does absolutely nothing to stop you.
Sorry, this is necessary.
Your blade pierces her heart, and she collapses pathetically to the ground.
I'll see you soon.
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
No, my love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry.
I'm going to die now. I think that's what you want.
And just like that, she's
You
dead.
don't have to please
The
me.
world is saved. Thank you for seeing this through. I know it must have been difficult. I feel sick. Sick? You took part in the murder of the fairest creature.
Does this cause her to merge,
She'll
or
get
do we
over
need
it.
to iterate again?
You just saved everyone.
Yeah, it's not over.
You smarmy ass. There's nothing in the world worth getting over it for. We might as well just end it all. You raise
Not a
the
bad
blade,
idea.
aiming the point directly towards your heart. Excuse me? No, you absolutely do not do that. Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions. We should give ourselves a minute. Rash. The only rash decision we've made was running
So
out
the other personas
This
also
place
have
of
shared
our
control over our body.
This
As a matter
is
of fact,
far
part of
from
how
rash.
we were
This
able
is
to thread the
measured.
needle
This
is
the
probably
only
because the
thing
hunted
left
was
for us
moving
to
us.
do now that she's gone.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens.
What? No, let's not do that. You won't use your fancy reverse psychotherapeutics on me, murderer.
Reverse
We're dying
psychotherapeutics.
together right now. All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passions of sorrow run deeper than the ocean itself.
We're
You'll
oceans
find
reduced to
that
creeks.
They are far more unstiflable.
Have at you all.
What don't you believe? You plunge the blade
Yeah, how
into
do you
your
not
own
believe it?
heart and collapse to the floor. You can't be serious. Why are you helping him? I'm not. He just made it happen. I'm sorry. That's right. You're all sorry.
You're all sorry. Yeah, we've got like feathery bird
Everything
hands.
goes
It's
dark,
like feathers up on this
And
part.
you die.
The gray. We've gone in between some things.
You're on a path in the woods.
It's not the
horrid
woods.
Monster. Do you think just because we've returned to the woods you've earned my forgiveness?
Oh, stop worrying
Our
about it,
beloved
you.
had best be alive and well when we return to the cabin, or you'll never know the end of my wrath. She won't be alive and well when we return to that cabin, because she's dead.
But she will be alive and well when we return to the cabin. Obviously.
You killed her, and so I
Good Liam Neeson
killed
movie.
You. And you clearly didn't do a good enough
Gray,
job.
yeah.
I'm still here. Oh, and I'm still here too.
I'm
If
still
you
here
want Geth to
too.
be blessed
Hey.
with seemingly eternal life, that must mean she's still there. I doubt it. I think I'm better at killing than you are. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is
This
it
is,
this time? 2?
Like 5.
It's our third.
Well,
gave
it's
it away.
their third.
Your open discussions. I couldn't care less what he knows. Every second we stand around arguing in the woods.
The smitten is very
If it is
verbose.
permanent, then what? Oh, you just wait and see. My
I am digging the
vengeance
voice
will
acting.
echo the depths of my bereavement. Don't provoke him. I prefer if we didn't die again. I'm not fond of dying.
Oh, but you have to go through it the most.
Why not? You've already done it twice. It was unpleasant.
The voice of the hero is probably the
It was
most
only
reasonable by
unpleasant
design.
because you think it's supposed to be unpleasant. I'll make you feel what I feel if it's the last thing I do. Oh, how exciting. I'd love to see you try. Can I? Well, I'm not just going to try. I'm going to actually.
The narrator can't get a word in.
Good. I am too. Can I talk now? Yes, I can. Great. Now that you're listening, let me remind you that if you're here in the woods, it means that the princess is not dead, and that her very existence currently poses a direct threat to the entire world.
Enough about how different this place is. It wasn't different last time. What do you mean it wasn't different last time? That's right. The last time, it wasn't very different. Oh, we can ask if we don't go to the cabin. Let me see.
This isn't the same path in the woods you're used to. That means that her influence is already spreading.
Her
You're running
influence
out of
is
time.
already spreading. What does that mean?
If her influence is spreading... Yes, I already... Don't mind him. I don't think he's... I'm doing better than any of you. Influence doesn't require life.
Influence doesn't require... Is that a
But
hint?
if things restarted, why wouldn't she be alive? Who said they restarted? All they've done is changed. I shan't listen to the vile mutterings of you serpents. On!
Well, we're going to the cabin, for sure.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. Oh, we'll muck it up all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever you do,
We'll
don't let
figure
him
it out.
Influence a single decision. I hate
Yeah,
that
he's
I'm
pretty
agreeing
out
with
there.
him on anything, but I really don't like being at the whims of someone so unstable.
Yeah.
It's stressful, yes. Having all those feelings isn't very productive, is it? But we're just passengers here. Why stress over something you can't control? You're saying that like stress is just something you can turn off. It is. It's easy. Whatever happens, happens.
I mean, if we're in a true loop, it's pretty doable.
What's the point of doing anything if you're not going to feel a single emotion? I don't know. I just exist. And that's fine with me. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your
Extremely important destiny, so on and so forth. I wonder if we'll get a better look
The
at
interior
ourselves.
of the cabin feels dry and brittle.
This is like a
Ancient
ghost
dust-covered
princess
wooden
going
beams
on?
Hold up a crumbling ceiling
That's
like
new.
mummified ribs. Each elegantly carved detail of the stately building preserved
Huh.
in an extended
I hope she isn't
stasis.
cross with us.
Everything here has been kept safe and dry and lifeless. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the dusty wood of the far wall. Is that her?
She's never been out of the basement
Our
before.
beloved. So she does live.
Does she?
She doesn't look very alive to me. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror?
The mirror keeps
Is it some kind
advancing
of
on
joke?
us.
Did
The
you all
mirror
plan
is
this
something
out before
apart from the
dying?
princess,
There
I
is
think.
no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the
The
pristine
mirror
blade.
is something
Huh.
outside of the
That's
world as the
strange.
narrator
There's
knows
supposed
it.
to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
There's no pristine
Maybe
blade.
it's gone because we've already killed her with it. Perhaps it's
Maybe
gone
we've done our
because
job.
An oh so deserved guilt
I don't think it has to do with the
started
guilt.
to
No, no,
worm
no.
its way into each and every one of you. Perhaps all of you do feel just as bad as I about what we've done. Though if you felt the oppressive guilt I feel, we would have manifested that weapon directly into our hearts.
Yeah, this
I suppose
guy's
it doesn't
exhausting.
matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement? You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. It's so hazy. It's time for all of you to see what we've become.
It's probably what we've been all along.
You reach forward and place your
Yeah,
hand on the
still
door
can't
to the
do it.
basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. So much for our reflection.
So I guess we can only see
didn't
anything
need to see
about ourselves in a
ourselves
third iteration.
I'm much more interested in... I see. We are too hideous for
We do
even a
seem to be
mirror
fairly hideous.
alone. No way left to go but down.
I wonder if we're hideous
The door to
for
the
a
basement
reason or if
creaks
it's the way
open,
we've always been.
revealing an antique staircase lit by weak torchlight. The air here is so stale it practically stands still, as if the very molecules of this place have been fossilized, trapped for eons until your arrival. Even the blaze of the torches can't penetrate the odorless air, as if they'd run out of fuel to burn ages ago, their light still flickering more out of habit than from adhering to a physical reality. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadow.
If she's a ghost, how
There
can we
she is
slay her?
again. My love. She's just an old memory.
She's five-headed us. We're
Your
outfoxed.
eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Seen a demon, a dragon, a ghost.
As you descend the final step,
Oh,
the form
she's
of the
already
princess
dead.
comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead.
No. What foul trickery is this? How can this be? We just saw her alive and well a moment ago, floating away transparently.
Whatever we saw was a ghost. Thought we were all on the same
I thought we were all on the same page that it was a ghost.
Do try to keep up. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock.
Is that you, narrator?
You turn to see the
Oh, no,
shade
it's her.
of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs, clutching a brightly burning torch. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead.
And not alive either.
She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of
I think
what
it's
is
actually
and isn't
important, yeah.
dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying or
Destroying if we want to be a little more death neutral.
Seems off the table.
We make amends. She obviously still holds
Bearing
us
a
in
torch
her heart.
for us.
She's
But she
Oh,
hasn't
man.
said anything.
You came back. I missed you.
that
Oh, nice.
angelic voice. I missed you too, my beloved.
The fact that it's the pristine cut. Yeah.
You sure snapped back to your old self quick.
Yeah, it's the name they gave to the director's cut.
Yes. Seeing her dazzling countenance again has reignited the
Smitten, you
warmth.
can
This
just get out of
isn't
here.
our place. We're supposed to be together, but it keeps making us hurt each other.
Seems to be.
The torch falls from the princess's hand and bounces down the stairs.
It'll be so much better when it's gone.
What's it?
The skeletal wood of the basement, perfectly dry after uncountable years of desiccation, immediately catches fire.
She's trying to kill us.
I mean, we did the same to her. It's only fair.
Misplaced escalation of her passions, but clearly she still cares for us. I say we burn with her.
I'm not mad at you. You gave me so much to think about. And it's all going to be over soon. It's all going to be better.
She's holding a grudge.
She might be.
She's perfect.
The fire grows quickly, devouring the basement, dancing up the walls and painting every surface with strokes of flame. You're choked by smoke, and the air around you grows uncomfortably warm. We've never burned to death before. I wonder how it's going to feel.
That is a new one.
Bad. I bet it'll feel really, really bad.
Uh,
Yes, it will be terrible.
should we
So
really
you've
knock
gotta
it?
Come up with something to do and fast. Your personal safety is far from the only thing.
I
she's
mean, the
threatening
world,
right now.
theoretically? Should we
I
do
think
something
a bit
about the
of
world?
Fiery passion is good for the world. You're just trying to spoil her fun.
I'm not spoiling anything. I'm trying to prevent oblivion. As you rush up the stairs, the entire cabin erupts into a raging inferno. You ignore the princess, throwing yourself headlong against the door, bashing at it with your clenched fists in a vain attempt at freedom. It's no use. You're stuck here. Your skin starts to bubble.
Well, that should take out both of us.
As layers of you peel away into raw, seeping burns, you feel a hand on yours. You turn to see the princess, face bright and smile wide with manic affection. She clutches you close to her chest, watching with loving eyes as the flames eat you away, bit by bit. The pain is unbearable at first.
Oh, nice.
Every inch of you screams as your flesh is stripped away, your muscles stiffening as they're cooked, your blood boiling in your veins.
We don't need to hear all the details, narrator. I imagine it would be.
But it isn't long before the flames take your nerves, and with them, your ability to feel much of anything. See? That wasn't so bad.
Is now the moment when she gets swallowed up?
It was.
Or does that happen to us now?
Somehow, nothing is so much worse. You'll get used to it. There are
We did
still
our
the
duty. We
feelings
slayed the
of
princess.
heart. Those never go away. Oh, they always do in the end. You just haven't experienced enough. Eventually you'll want them to
I wouldn't mind keeping this guy.
You'll
Seems
never
level-headed.
stop. Trust me. The princess's smile never fades. Her skin peels away, and then her muscle, until all you can see is her charring skull, locked in an eternal grin. It's very romantic, really.
Burning down the house.
We got our happy ending after all. We can die happy.
Do we die, though? Ah, there we go. Back to that dark place. Despite your best efforts, you do not die. It's time for you to leave. Memory
gone.
returns.
Where did she go? And there's that mirror again.
We've been here before, and you always get
It feels
scared.
so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't
I'm
hurt.
sorry.
Right? You don't need to comfort them.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
The Smitten's not
Whatever
wrong.
makes you happy.
They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. The bloat. You've grown. You've grown. We've grown? There's more of us.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Why can I not do... Oh, I can't do... I didn't know that I can't do the same things I've done before. Wait, why is this here twice? You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. That's peculiar. What do you want me to bring next time? Not an important question. Ah, what about this vessel?
This one is passion betrayed. But even in the end, her love never faded. She will make for a bright heart. Do not mourn her, for she has finally found her light.
Passion betrayed. What do you think
vessels
about
are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me.
You need more perspectives to exist.
The wounds they've
The
suffered
Princess
carve
of Theseus?
texture around my heart.
Yeah.
Without them, I would be as I was before.
Nothing. You would have no texture.
I would be
You need
alone
wrinkles in the
and
brain
without
to think.
sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
What do you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed, but in this
Interesting.
moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
That seems like the most we can get out of this. I'm ready to go back.
I long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am.
How do you experience time, I wonder?
We will meet
Probably
again.
the same way that I, the player, do. There's a shattering mirror sound when we die in the long dark.
You're on a path in the woods.
There's a reason why we're the one doing this, right?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off.
We're the only
They don't
one
make the
who can
rules.
pull this
I
off.
wish-
Why is that the case?
Don't mention it.
This time I'm going to take the blade, go down, and then
Take the
set the
blade
blade
from the
down. I'm wondering if her
Door to
voice
the
is going to
basement
be the way it
creaks
was the
open,
first time we came
revealing
down
a
here.
staircase faintly illuminated
Let's explore
by an
some
unseen
slight
light in the room
deviations.
below. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous.
Okay,
It's
so
almost
when
as
we
if
carry
she's
the
the one who
knife down,
changed down
this
here.
is the princess we get.
Don't let it fool you. It
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors.
You walk down the stairs
Mhm.
and lock eyes with the.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
It's interesting how much the princess can feel different with only slight variations in like the way the art is depicted. Like a different tilt of the head, a different slant of the eyebrows, and she seems to become a different
and there
character.
you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Nah. I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat.
She
Sure.
makes a compelling point. What if we just don't you dare?
Yeah, I'll
It's
just drop the
fine.
blade.
We can decide what. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak
Yeah,
with the princess
inflections are a
face to
big deal.
face. Unarmed. We'll be fine.
I understand your trepidations, narrator, but it's
I
not
don't
our
know what
first
you're hoping to
rodeo.
accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going.
Somebody's going to lock us in here, too.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
It's not the start. What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty.
Note the lack of detail.
Yep. It is pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that.
I've been told things, but I'm not sure what to believe.
me.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend.
Yeah, that's the
going to
dynamic,
happen.
that's for sure.
As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here.
How long
Just
have you
the
been here?
dynamic of our situation. Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Do you know why I'm here?
Do you?
No.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk.
That's fair.
But this isn't talking.
I'm here because you're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
Does she not know?
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Yeah, I'm not convinced the princess actually exists outside of this room
Just
in any
how long
way.
has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up
That is a
here,
good question.
chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly
You're somehow
so
metaphysically dangerous.
dangerous?
Like, you have a reality warping existence.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her.
Maybe you start with gnawing off your
She doesn't
hand or
have to
something.
know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
At some level,
Whoever
it
sent
is.
you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
Mhm.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any
I don't
other
want you to
number of
lie to
good
me.
things that I'm sure you think, but you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth?
She's right about one thing.
Mhm.
Her
Like I said, it's all about. So
Yeah,
do you
blind
trust
trust.
me, the prisoner, the victim?
she's wrong. This isn't about trust.
The narrator said this before.
You can't. Don't.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. Well, we can always put that in.
Her sharp eye. She isn't suggesting she is.
Oh, have you decided?
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have to be. You walk up to the chains. They're large and heavy. Far too
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go.
doubtful. Whoever.
That would be fine. I can lose it.
She speaks. If we were stuck
Let's do
down
it.
here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way.
You've
You
seen
attempt to
this
make your way.
permutation
Someone
before.
You make your way back to the bottom. It's easier for everyone.
We've seen
I
some
heard
of
the
this.
door slam. The knife. Pick it up and.
You won't like. Against you cut into her. The blade is sharp. She didn't so much as utter a free from her binding. How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. As the princess wait, this isn't fair. Watch me.
What if, at this case, I don't stop and I slay the
Bring
princess?
the blade down and plunge it into the. Okay. As though the blade left a deep gash in her shoulder, she barely saw.
Are you serious? I don't know what came over you. But if we're. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
We haven't been slain by her. If I go to a knockdown, drag-out fight, I'm pretty sure she becomes a demon.
As the blade falls from your trembling hand, you fall to your knees, barely able to process that every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact. If we're lucky, the wound you manage to inflict will be enough.
Oh, too weak to even try.
She places a confident heel on your chest. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed. It can't just end. I'm sorry. Everything goes dark.
What does this make her into?
And-
The tower. This is different. Start with
You're on
Baltimore.
a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
Who are we with this time?
A warning.
It can't be the
If she
stubborn.
will lie, we might as well just
It's the broken.
pledge ourselves to her. Can we tone down the pessimism? I'm not being a pessimist. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering and whatever
We've
you do,
managed to
don't
change.
Pledge yourself to her.
I cannot stress enough how absolute. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just rescue her. Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between. So please try.
So
to ignore
giving
both of
up
those
has given us
knuckleheads
this
and focus
iteration.
on saving the world. If that's what you want.
Presume that perhaps she'll be domineering, but she shouldn't be demonic like she was that one time.
Is larger and more grandiose than its
Have
humble
access to the
exterior
knife.
would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched.
What's up with it being a massive altar?
Why do we feel so small? We don't
Interesting.
feel small. We are small. You walk up to the wall next to the basement. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. You reach
Still
forward,
can't wipe it
rub
clean.
your hand. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better. You take the blade.
Let's take the blade, go down. I wonder if we can kill her with
Door to the basement
what
creaks
might
open,
be a
revealing
large
spiral
size disparity.
staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you. This is still a start.
These stairs are
If the
enormous.
princess lives, her booming voice.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You won't kill
We're gonna
me,
see
you said
quite
it
a
was
princess.
booming. We need to get down there. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decision.
What are we
Making
looking
your way
at?
down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view. The princess towers over you,
Oh,
almost glowing in the weak
It's like
starlight.
hovering.
A figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a...
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
how else can we change you?
He brought that knife again, even though you... Drop it.
As
No.
if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor, but we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what
Who
it
wouldn't
feels like
understand?
to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel. Oh, are you still trying to defy me?
I'm gonna keep trying throughout.
Said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your
So if I
broken
didn't
lungs.
tell you that, would you be different now?
I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world
I
as
mean,
it
I
is
do
now
agree. The
is
world seems to be a
overdue for
peculiar, like,
alterations.
eldritch haunted loop.
It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
The thing is,
Bucky's
I
alright
think you
again,
still
doesn't it?
need to die in order to.
It does, but why
Be
did she
captured.
say the last time we met? She's right.
Don't worry, narrator.
We've been here before, and we've died here before. Pitifully. We might as well do what she asked. He's being melodramatic, but the point stands. Well, I'll be damned.
That is a good question.
Okay.
What are we
First
supposed
things
to
first,
do?
you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done.
Any good ideas,
The
narrator?
stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this
I
off.
concur with that.
You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
What happened to you after I died?
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
I'm not
I
going to help
see.
you.
Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
Try me. I'm not human.
Up that needle.
Do it. It's no objections here. I don't know
Well, I
what
am
she's
going to
planning,
need the
and I
knife.
don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but as your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push
My eye.
you towards
It's like
its
an eyelash.
desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Interesting. An unseen puppeteer. Locking me out of a few things. A divine hand pushes you towards its desires.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
Unseen hands is quite something.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow.
There is something
Well, I
shadowy about
am
us.
brilliant
In fact, we can't
radiance.
really look at ourselves. Yeah, I think we're actually smaller because we shrank away from our task.
Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
Rather not.
You don't have to listen to her. Oh, we'll end this all right.
I think,
Your hand lifts the
we
blade
didn't have
and brings it
options.
towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End
And her.
her. Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step forward, the
Nope.
blade digs into your ribs.
We don't
slicing
need both
through
lungs,
flesh
I'm
and
sure.
It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
I
It's
had to
what
listen
she
to you
wants.
earlier, even. Well, the narrator's control over us wasn't
Heroic
this
one,
powerful.
What are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him.
Yeah,
from
come on,
killing
hero.
you. I'm on it.
I'm on it.
Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs.
Ugh.
The blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird, thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be.
So
like
we're both
this.
kind of
It doesn't have to hurt so much.
we're both kind
You
of
can choose a gentle end.
sculpted by our
choose to leave that
perceptions
punctured
and
vessel
interactions
for the
over this.
next.
And the fact that we're bringing her perspectives is an important aspect of that.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is
That sounds
painted with the
interesting. We should
bloody
try that.
expressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement.
Yeah.
You know, this
We're
would be
growing.
a lot easier
We
if
grew.
you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
Isn't that troubling?
You're the
Free
one
will?
making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't...
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
This might give us the chance to stab her in the neck.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
That's a little demeaning.
You don't have the power to do that anyway.
Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it...
No.
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
We're incredibly small.
She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously.
I think she's
to her
grown
knees.
even within this single scene.
But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh.
You understand
This,
equality now.
Calm where you always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
We are here for a reason. It's
It's
interesting.
not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
You're not supposed to be like this.
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet.
Yeah, there's not much of us left to go around,
There's an
really.
unsettling pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
What will you be now?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch them.
We are
The
monsters.
princess has been nothing but cruel.
Good of you to catch up.
You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
There's a lot of pain, though.
She collapses to the
We
floor.
got the God Killer
Her
achievement.
glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were
It's
never
about
gonna
as
get a
romantic as it
happy
gets.
ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something. I
Well,
guess.
we saved 1 out of like 9 worlds here, so whatever.
Regardless of how you feel,
Kratos
about it,
nods.
it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The Fury. Yeah, here's a new one. Oh! Oh! Ho, ho, ho. Oh! Ho, ho,
The end of the part. What
ho.
the hell is that? I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed.
We
a
got
god.
the stubborn back. Okay.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most...
Yeah, this is really something that we brought into being.
Ever will be.
Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us, and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed.
Got like a defiled mad god kind of thing going
I've
on.
got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening.
By the way, before I launch the game, I did note the game has like 165 achievements or something like
Is
that.
telling us about the princess. That
It
waste
doesn't
of
appear to be
breath.
quite one
Know
per
all
ending,
about her.
but I think
It's
a lot of
hardly
those
half
are
in the woods
these
at this point, is it?
endings.
Look, if the world
It's a
around
lot.
you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens
Yep.
next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs.
I know the score, narrator. Don't worry about it. Better all listen to me.
Speaking my mind, it's not like I've ever really got.
What a crock of shit. Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly. It didn't even work. It doesn't count.
Oh, shut
We
up,
died.
Brogan.
If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me.
Aside from our sulking friend,
I like
don't
the
think you have much to
change in the
worry
music.
about.
It's pretty good.
You're still the one in charge here. I don't think that's ever going to change. Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
I'm glad to have you back on board. I've noticed that we've got this option on every third turn. I should try it next time.
Good, we're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up
Man,
at the
this is
cabin
messed
on the
up.
hill. You'll find the princess within. That's it. No fun. I'd rather not waste any more time.
If there's still a princess in the cabin,
Yep.
maybe we can salvage things. Maybe.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now.
Let's go in.
The interior of the cabin is a place.
We
that
still have
feels
access to a
long
pristine
forgotten.
blade, and
There was
third
once
turn
an
mirrors in
elegance
the
to its
front way.
construction,
Okay.
carved, but that is how it was.
Understood.
Now there is a growth that has overtaken it.
A growth, viscous fluid,
seeps from cracks in the
writhing
stone
nerves.
walls.
Yep.
You did this. The only furniture
Don't
of note
blame me for
is a
this.
pulse. The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the pedestal. It will be good.
There are a lot of
You
permutations to
step
go
forward
through.
and approach the door.
Welcome
of the
to
basement,
Caelid indeed.
hesitating before you open it. All we see, it really is.
Smash it. Smash it.
Though you want to know what we'll see in there. Nah, I'm with it on this one. Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it. You reach forward and drag your hand across the door lead. As if on command, it slowly
Yep,
slides
seems to
open,
be, similar every
scraping
third
against
turn.
The stone floor. Its ancient
In the
hinges
ghost ending,
moan
we didn't
as
have
it
the option to
reveals
try to
the
smash
hidden
it.
path. Why am I not surprised?
But that didn't change
You
much.
step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence.
I wonder how much of
The
this
metallic scent of fresh blood,
organic
twisting
stuff
the
is the
nauseating
princess.
embers of charred remains. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat. See how you've soured my once divine melody.
She's so angry.
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. She's not some untouchable god.
Whatever she is now is our.
She was going to end the
We're an
world.
abomination too, I'm pretty sure.
If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination.
We
She's
gained the
always been
broken.
what
The
she
stubborn
is.
isn't new. We've only grown a little bit this time
You
through.
make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in
Oh, you don't
blood.
actually look
Their
that
deep,
bad. Just a little,
sickening
you know,
red
inside
drips
out.
down in clotted streams onto the charred
Oh, your
corpses
heart
that
is
make
like
up its
real
floor.
accessible right there.
This place
And I
reeks
noticed
of
that you have
blood, of
bone
red
high
skin and
heels.
burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
You want to elaborate?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward.
her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound,
yeah, okay. Figures she would do that.
It plops to the ground.
Yeah. Didn't bother her to lose an arm before, after all.
Arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you. Let her end it. It's the punishment. Screw that. We can win. We've done it before, and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
The world hasn't wronged me the way you have. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually, though. Once I've had my fill of you.
She bounds across the room.
That's
her
right.
fists ready,
Be
her
interested
heart
in me.
Set upon your destruction.
Her crown has become a series of nails.
With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
Well, that was pretty quick.
No, that's our stuff. She can't
That's
just do
our
that.
stuff!
She just did. Unfortunate, I know, but reality is reality.
You should all just be grateful she's decided.
We're not out for the count just yet.
Are we not? You did horrible things to me, too. Can't just kill each other forever.
But the words don't leave your metaphorical mouth.
Metaphorical
Instead,
mouth?
all that leaves you is a wet and horrible gurgling as tissue vibrates out of place.
This one's beyond demonic.
Our metaphorical mouth.
You don't have the means to speak anymore, do you?
Yeah.
How
What
tragic.
does it mean metaphorical mouth? Did we not have a mouth in the first place?
It is tragic, though, isn't it? I'm not satisfied dividing fear and indignation from your eyes alone. A quivering mound of flesh is no companion.
Put us back together so that we can,
Snaps her
do
fingers.
something. I don't know.
And the basic form of a vocal system assembles before you.
Neat.
Now, little bird, what was it you wanted to tell me?
We have no mouth and we much scream.
Game. You desecrated my divine spirit and plunged me into your realm of flesh. The only thing left for me is your torment.
Alright, might as well do that then.
Submit already. What is there left for us to do?
We need to unify her with the rest of herself.
Skin flayed and organs flapping, you charge towards the princess.
Oh, this is so insane.
That's right. She'll never stop us.
Still you defy your god. I've made the mistake of underestimating your resolve before. Never again.
Swing for her heart. What's left of you explodes. So that's it. It's over. Just like that.
Yeah, the flesh flapping noises as we charge at the
course
princess
it's over.
was insane.
It's been over since the very first moment we laid eyes on her.
This is the final note of your discordant melody.
I can somehow still
You
hear.
will not return again, because you will live in that single tone forever.
No! It's not over! We're a god killer! We've returned from death itself twice!
Didn't you hear her? We're not dead.
What's the difference? From many perspectives, there isn't one. But functionally, that is, from your perspective, the difference
Metaphorical
is
ears.
massive.
Yeah. We're a construct.
You are
A narrative
entirely laid
construct.
bare, spread to each corner of the room. Yet you are wholly aware of the state you're in. Incapable of movement, but entirely capable of perception. In fact, perceiving your state is the only thing you can currently do. You are preserved. Perfectly. In the amber of her torment.
Oh, what delicious language. This is lovely
We're
words.
more than this. We've lost bodies before. We just have to lose this
No,
one
it's
and make
perhaps
another.
over. Yeah, we got Jeromed. It's a reference to the D&D game that Zombie and I play in if anybody else is watching. How are we supposed to lose this one? Can't do anything right now. Yeah, she gets worse every time we get to a new cabin.
Who said anything about getting to a new cabin? No, we make something new Here.
It won't matter.
Maybe we
if you
can.
do.
And preferably, we make something.
Absolutely not. I refuse to let you just decide to die with your task unfinished. If you die here, the world is doomed.
How do I not die here? But you do die. There is a great release as you loose your grip on what's left of your flesh and blood. And yet you are still here.
Your Honor, where the hell are you? Are you already at the Princess? This place is different. Rotten.
The Hunted is here
I
now.
want to go back.
So you've returned already, and I remain here.
The Princess tilts her head to look at you, and with a gesture, you are unwound.
I need more of me.
Again?
Clearly, I left you with too much room last time.
You know what to do.
How many more? I have the cold, right?
Your Honor, she's...
The smitten and the cold, both.
Absolutely divine.
You, guy who describes things, you better start saying what we do this time.
And what are you?
Attacking her, obviously.
Right. You charge towards the Princess and...
There is no spark in you, only matter devoid of life.
you explode.
Again.
You're on a path. We are not on a fucking path.
The
I have
cheated
no
is
idea
new.
where we
Okay.
are.
I'm not aware of the cheated.
We're in the middle of a fight, so act like it.
So you are. Okay, you dive towards the Princess and we're unwound. Yes, her head swivels creakily on her neck, fire in her eyes as your body unravels with blinding pain.
No.
Again.
You have no body. You exist. You are
No
reborn.
time. You narrate now.
Yes, of course. Pristine blade grasped firmly in your hands, you fly towards the Princess before she can turn to face you. We might actually do it this time.
Feel that body of yours slicing through the air. How many more times will I have to scatter you?
I think at least 3.
As she turns towards you, the very essence of your being begins to flake away.
How do we
Your
become the
muscles,
cheated?
Then organs, then nerves laid bare and screaming as the rest of you is stripped of substance. Oh, boo-hoo. It's just a body.
Okay, this one was the
Just
cold.
needs to last long enough
And
to
we've been the
sink
smitten.
This blade into her heart.
Anything else we become is new.
You are disintegrating. Everything goes dark.
I'm glad I'm not limited to what I've experienced. There is no you to die.
How many times do I need to pulverize you before you finally understand? You are nothing. An empty void that dared to dream it was alive.
Maybe that is what I am. Oh, my cursor is inky blackness. Huh.
That feels right.
Do I understand myself now?
If we're nothing, then why are we still here?
Wait a minute. Are we the end of the world? And if we don't kill the princess, the unity between myself and the princess is the end of the world.
Because we always have.
I'm not the hero, I'm the apocalypse itself.
If we're nothing, then how can we do anything? The same way we always have. Being nothing has never stopped us. Now end this. End her.
You need to come with me, princess.
You cannot win if you cannot be.
A force races towards the princess's exposed heart. Threads of texture pulled from an all-encompassing nothing.
How? I've scattered the atoms you clung to and there is nothing there to find. You can't exist.
You don't realize what we are. The threads pierce her heart and cradle her spirit.
It's over.
Oh, I think I understand you now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do the things I did to you. I don't think I knew what I was doing.
It's okay. We'll meet again
Sounds
soon.
Genuine. They always do in the end.
It's cold, but I'm going to be okay, right?
It's fine. We're together. This blackness, this void, is us. We've gotten the achievement Quantum Beak. Find the means to triumph over an angel scorn. You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave.
She's gone.
Memory returns.
And there's that. I would have kept them in the dark if I were you.
It's not the end for me. This is the first time we've told the hero about our existence in this way.
What is that supposed to mean? What? Screw that.
I noticed that, the broken is gone. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. The decay, you've withered. Back to the long quiet. Was this vessel uncomfortable? I'm sorry.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Our curse is back to the way it was. What do you think of this vessel?
This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. There is passion and empathy buried under her unfeeling skin. She will make for a weathered heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
A weathered heart. What happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths.
She doesn't know anything more than we know, because we're ultimately the
Except
same.
when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
I sense that we're one being.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Next. Alright, this time we're going to try some violence. We brought her the Fury. We're not going to talk.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
I'm not listening to anything. I don't need to.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
I've already interacted with
There's
this
a heavy
princess.
chain around her wrist. You step forward. You lunge forward without a moment. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
No,
It's like
I don't.
She's convinced she can't die. Yes. Even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
A crow? Perhaps.
But it's over, isn't it? She stopped
Kind of
breathing
between
moments
things.
ago.
We do have,
that arrogant look still
I think
plastered
the
on her
hook,
face.
in the fingers is, I think a bit more raptor-like than lizard-like. I think,
But is it over? Really over?
We've never clearly seen our face. Oh, the last achievement referenced a beak, so it is perhaps likely that we're a crow, or something closer to a crow.
It's over.
It's
We
not
should
over.
make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that. You lean down and wrap your hand around the blade's hilt. But as you begin to slide it out of its resting place, you feel a sharp and sudden jab in your side.
Who killed us?
What was that?
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall,
Where'd you get
she
that
falls
blade?
with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? For whatever that's worth.
What are we
Everything
now?
goes dark, and you die.
Lower shoulder? Yeah, there are definitely feathers on whatever we are. The razor.
You're on a path you're here to slay. A warning, she will lie. He couldn't be more on the money.
Now we're the
We're really
cheated.
doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but we know what to look out for. This just stay.
What's the princess like now? I think we'll take the blade this time.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged
messed
mess
up.
of warped wood and broken boards. Their splintered edges as The blade is your... You take the blade from... It feels a bit better.
Looking
to have
at
a
the
weapon
mirror
our
in the
hands.
second iteration
Let's make her
typically doesn't do anything for us. I wonder if there's any way for the mirror to mean something
Door to the
more
basement creaks
before
open,
we get to the third
revealing what
iteration.
must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the scraping. She's not even trying to hide her knife. It's like she wants to get...
So
That
last
sound
time,
could be
did she have a
anything.
knife?
It's probably just her chains
How did we
dragging
get
across
stabbed?
the floor. Her grating voice.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something.
What do you
so
look like
wrong with
now?
that voice. Yeah, she thinks she's better than us. Like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. Her sharp
A bit
eyes
more
following
deceitful,
you from
perhaps?
across the room.
Finally, somebody. Quick, get me out of these chairs.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that. If she sounds
Yeah, that's
threatening,
fine. I think
it's
I'll go
because
with
her
it.
mask is already slipping.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
What happened after you
That's
died last
funny.
time?
You're funny. I'm not dead, so I can't have died.
Last time? Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's off. I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be... Yes, something is obviously up, and we can all tell that she's lying.
Okay. Let's see.
The princess falls silent, her smile unwavering as you charge across the room. Okay, she hasn't pulled out a knife yet, and her hands are still behind her back. I think we can do this. I think we can win. We just have to strike now, but make sure you keep your eyes on those hands. But your focus is broken by the horrible sound of metal slicing through.
Oh, she just gets us on this one.
Whose meat? Not ours, right? Hers at first, then yours.
Hee.
How? What did she even hit us with? You stare down at your chest and at the long, thin blade she impaled you with. And then the red, angry slit along the flesh of her thigh, where the blade had been nestled just a moment ago. It's still lodged in her leg, emerging from her knee, hinging up and out of her body like some extra metallic limb.
Ow!
Shit. Absolute bullshit.
You're going to die now.
With a twist
Okay.
of her knee and a painful squelch, she does jump.
The arms race.
You're on a path in the... No,
No,
fuck
don't
that.
worry about
If
that.
We're going to have to keep doing this over and over. You're
What? The interior of
We're
the
starting in the
cab.
cabin this
Restricting
time.
mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
I feel dizzy.
Oh, ho, ho, ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I?
The circle's
I like
getting
this guy.
smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore.
We've got the
Good.
hunted with us
It's
now.
better that
And the
way.
stubborn.
Without a fight, no one can win, and if no...
Great. So obviously this is our... No wonder things have
The
fallen
hunted
apart.
and the stubborn
You
this
do
time.
realise that every time... That can't be right. That's too much.
Nah, impossible.
Let's just... The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. We take it. Okay, sure. You
Yep.
take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be... This feels right. That's right. We've got to be able...
We will win.
That's a fighting spirit I like. I'd love to get started just as much as you walk through the door. There isn't a door. There isn't a mirror.
There's the mirror.
Really?
Yep.
I can feel the
Yep,
air
got it.
coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel.
If it's in our way...
You make your way. Let's just. You reach forward
Doesn't
and place
exist.
and
Yep,
the mirror
got
is
it.
gone.
Uh-huh.
It was never there.
Let's just
Mirror
get
was
to
never
the...
there.
It's time for just stay
How many more
focused
voices
and
can
you'll
we be at
fine.
once?
You step forward.
The cheated, the stubborn, and the
Get a
cold.
chance to
Yeah,
lean
let's
on
get
the
going.
basement Stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
She's got another thing coming if she Pride makes us dead. The only thing that matters is survival. Actually, does survival matter? We've died
That is a good
twice, and
question.
Nothing bad has come of it. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world.
I'm not
to
sure
ruin.
they did.
The past isn't real. The
Past-
is
Ooh.
cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades.
It's interesting that in this iteration, it seems like she was kind of like this the whole time.
Torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor. She's loose, and she is coming for you.
Every third iteration has been unchained from the start.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for us, and I'm out of ideas.
Okay, I get the idea that a lot of these could bring in other facets of ourself. So, stiff upper lip, can't let ourselves feel it, is the cold. Appeal to authority, puff her up a bit, I'm not sure. Unconditionally surrender is the broken. Flirting with her is probably the smitten. Panicking is new. And this one is this is suggesting we should kill ourselves. Okay. And then there's also all these ideas suck. Let me see. Let's see. Puff her up a bit, appeal to her authority. Who is that? I'm not sure. There were no other... The cheated was the only unfamiliar incarnation when we were interacting with the last one. Swords for arms and we don't. Let's see. She wins by killing us, so let's beat her to it. That's a pretty bad idea. Let me see. Let's try flirting.
I've tolerated quite a bit from you, but this is a bridge too far. Please don't try romancing the
Why not?
princess.
This is a pretty
She wants
fly
to kill
princess.
you.
I mean, like,
She's going to end the world if you don't stop her. Yeah, do we have to flirt with the murderous monster?
we're trying everything, hero. You
I'd
can't
rather not.
you can't rule this
I'm
out.
into it.
He's into it.
Can't say I mind either. If it weren't for all the cheating, I'd say she's pretty cute. Can we flirt by fighting her, though?
Maybe. My inner Disco Elysium player needs to click this.
The look. The look. We've all used it. Yeah, do you not know about the look? The look, eh? So we're getting serious about this. You flash the princess the look. and a rosy blush rushes to the princess's cheeks as she breaks into a wide grin.
This is so good. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Oh, is that how it is? Yeah, okay, I feel that. I like you too. Neat.
Oh, be damned, this is actually going to work, isn't it?
Still going to kill you. But now we could both enjoy a mutual romantic subtext to the murder.
Oh, I dig it. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I like her. I like her a lot. Blush still glowing in her cheeks. The princess closes the distance between you, blades flashing. She skewers you. Ow. What worthwhile romance doesn't hurt?
The smitten came in.
What matters is that she likes us. She's even said as much. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die?
Maybe. We just got run through, but it doesn't require death. We gained multiple incarnations at once in the last one after a single recurrence.
Where the hell are you?
I don't like that we died without us knowing it. This really, really blurs some lines that I prefer not to be blurred. Are we still dead? Are we alive again? How are we even supposed to know the difference?
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead.
We're nothing. It doesn't
This is
matter.
all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess
You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
Whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her. We don't need any other voices chattering.
Nope, more
about
voices.
it. It'll just
More
confuse
voices,
us.
damn it.
All we need is to keep fighting. Yeah, I'll pass on that.
As long as we keep moving.
We need to be the biggest us we can be.
Come on, show me something new.
Let's see. Unconditional surrender. This should give us the broken. It doesn't work, and she kills you again and again and again and again. Memory blurs. Your consciousness leaps from life to life to life, holding only snippets of the conflict that transpires.
What's the point? It's all the same. She skewers you.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that. Then you skewer yourself.
I thought we both understood that dying just...
Huh. That didn't do much
The
of anything.
contrarian.
We're tougher than I thought.
The contrarian. The cheated can see the meta.
Just panic. Flee.
The paranoid. Yeah, okay. These are the other iterations I read in through some of these. So the paranoid was the, desperate, panicky one, I'm assuming.
She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up. Okay, let's go again. She's going to kill this body either way. So stop feeling what it feels. She skewers you.
Yeah, no worries. You know, it does kind of look like a bird hand, because it's got the, markers that are like the bird, flexor bits.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. That was a good one. Let's appeal to her better nature.
The
We haven't tried
opportunist.
that.
Okay.
I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. We're getting close to something. Can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time. That's all we need. None of this is working.
The skeptic.
Think.
Okay, so we've got the new voices we saw this time. I'm not at the point of taking notes yet. So it's the skeptic, the paranoid, the
She skewers you.
It was the skeptic, the paranoid, there was one other.
And then everything goes dark, and you die.
But we don't die. Oh, we hit a chapter 4? Mutually assured destruction.
Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it from here. Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand.
A contrarian. That's right, contrarian was the other one.
What if we throw it out the window? Over my dead body. That won't be very
Yeah, so we gained the contrarian, the paranoid, the skeptic. The contrarian and the skeptic are different. Ay.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman? Sure, I can think of a better way to die. They're all the same, really. How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're going to
And the
manifest
opportunist.
is finally ending up on top.
Is that 4 new identities that we got to see in one
There are
loop?
entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them? Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time. Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover. Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a slide. We know. Fine, I'll just shut up then. Are you
I'll just
sure
shut
you
up
don't want me
then.
to describe the stairs, or this room, or anything? Don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it?
Is it more
I'm
blades?
not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
You're gonna say what she does? Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah,
I want to hear the new thing.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and
Oh, this is quite something.
erupts. She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering
Man,
against the
this is
walls.
really something.
All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Let's fucking do it.
Shit. She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine. Yes. Behold, the perfect woman. Do you think we can throw her out the window?
Oh, that's a good callback. Oh.
That looked painful.
Oh, the cold doesn't believe in
How
pain.
is she still alive?
Life isn't anything.
Heart's still beating, that's all she needs. This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up.
I
doesn't
did
even
think
have
that
a
might be the
back
case
anymore.
earlier
How are we
on.
supposed to stab her in it? This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing. We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it. All right,
Oh.
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Wait. When we empty our mind, we go back to the basement? That makes sense. Because this is about us too. It's not just about her. Drop the narrator.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
It's okay. We're done. I'm nothing, and I'm taking you where you need to go. You do not act, and yet through that inaction your body moves on its own. The princess strikes as you approach, but as her blow finishes its arc, you're already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
Your weapons clash again and again, you and her entering a rhythm free of thought and free of self. There's only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth between you. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your hearts pound, and the faster the momentum volleys between you. An endlessly building crescendo and then an opening. Your blade strikes free of volition, and hers strikes too. Both strikes are lethal. Neither of you will survive, but neither of you fear what's to come. This is a good ending. A good ending. You do not get to see each other die, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. This time the knight's not here with, the hero's not here with us. You do so. It's time for you to see what's in it. You're unraveled. That's you've unraveled. The remains. The long quiet.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it. This one is a single-minded edge. She is cruelty, but she is also joy. She will make for a piercing heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be.
Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new.
Their minds are empty.
Do you think your narrator
Is the
lives in
princess
spaces
always a
beyond?
reflection of my expectations? Maybe the princess is nothing, and I'm nothing. Princess is what I map onto her. And that's why when I empty myself, the room changes. When I expect the princess to be a certain way, when I expect her to resist or betray me, she does those things. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond? Huh.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
Interesting. How many more vessels?
One. Whatever you bring
One.
me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Alright. I'm going to do something entirely mad. Oh, the mirror does make more sense. Is that
You're
we're
on a
both
path
nothing in the mirror.
woods, and that you're here to slay.
Bye!
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do, ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's
Yeah, I'll
talking
ignore him
about.
for now. It's fine.
That's strange.
Ah.
It looks like this
This path also leads to the
also
cabin. Turn around again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Yep.
Your silence is deafening.
Yeah, deafening indeed.
But fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you
Back
took.
to the
Would you
cabin.
Look at that. You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to... There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong
The music
one for
stopped.
pretty much everyone who's
This
ever
seems
lived,
like the
as
way to
well as for
unlock the
everyone
contrarian
who ever
early.
will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes.
Glimpses of familiar wooden structures.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. an infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
You're too stubborn.
This
for
is a
that,
good way to
aren't
get
you?
the hero in on it from
doesn't
loop
matter how many
1.
paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you've doomed us all. You know that, right?
Doomed us all.
But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Chapter 2, The Stranger. This would be the only case
You're on a
where
path
we meet the
in
princess and
woods,
the princess hasn't
and
met
at the
us.
end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her.
I want to see what the princess is like
warning.
right now.
Before you go any further, she will lie. If we ignore him, he's just being
That was the contrarian, yep. I skipped through it a little bit, but it was the
cabin
contrarian.
interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many
Ah.
cabin interiors, all projected
Ah.
across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the
Its
wrong
legs
lengths.
all the wrong
Its
lengths.
material devoid of feature. The blade is your If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife?
We've
against a
already done what
world-ending
you want,
monstrosity?
contrarian.
We're
We need
taking
more
the
of
knife.
ourselves.
Have you seen them? I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a prince. You can't just say that. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts, and if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear. Oh, you've piqued my interest.
What's going to
gonna
happen if we lose us? We'll just return to being nothing again.
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry.
Ignore the stressful geometry. That's right. Ignore the stressful geometry.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here
Plenty
is
more weird stuff to
obviously
see.
real. Just accept it and go with the flow. Okay, good. Now we should look at ourselves. You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There isn't. You insisting it
Isn't a mirror. Why would you lie about that? I also want to look at myself.
We shouldn't waste time preening. If he is lying, I'm not lying to you. So we're all in agreement. You walk up to the wall next. It's real. You
Still
reach
can't
forward
wipe it
and
clean.
rub your hand against the. It was there a second. Now it's gone.
We never
You
get
know
the
that taking
opportunity
her
to
away
remark
from us
on
isn't
our
going to change
appearance.
things, right? Woof, you take the blade from the
The
table.
selves within
It'll be
us
difficult to
are
slay the
not
princess and save the
surprised by the
world
way
without
we
a
look.
weapon. Okay, fine, you took the knife. But you really should. How are we supposed to? The other way. Thumb at the bottom. We'll look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our. It really doesn't matter how you hold.
Keep your grip as it is.
Keep your.
I can throw the blade out the window if I want, but no, I'm going to go into the basement with the
The door
blade.
to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is her voice. A disquieting collage of tone and personality drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a... I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. But
I mean, we're
already
probably
tried
gonna
turning
die,
around
yeah.
and leaving, didn't we?
and he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And what's that? That the fate of the world? There'll still be plenty of ways.
We'll go down the middle.
You step onto the center staircase. Paths wind out around you in all directions, each step branching into its own staircases, which branch into their own staircases, and so on. You aren't quite sure if yours is taking you up or down, but at the very least, it's taking you somewhere. You concentrate on where you are, careful not to stray onto any of the many splitting branches that tempt you on all sides. You wouldn't want to have to backtrack to yours once you'd made a decision that took you someplace else.
Oh man, that's a microcosm of visual novels entirely.
And so you take one careful, focused step after another. One foot down.
You lose yourself in following the correct pattern.
Another after that.
And following what looks
you lose
to you
yourself in following the
to be the true
pattern,
path.
In following what, but no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether.
Becomes more conceptual.
Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
Our cursor's gone to nothing again. We are no more.
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as
Can I help you?
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down.
We got a glimpse of what we are on the way down.
You're here to... He's just being an ass. We remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should...
What's your name?
Princess. You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
As the princess speaks again,
this is a bit more
it's
frank.
as if she fractures. Where there was once just
How
one
many of her can we interact
there
with?
is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those again. Should we tell him? Nah, let him stew. Right, I'm telling
Let him
him.
stew it. Oh,
Yeah,
you told
we've
him?
been
Okay.
here before, but we never went to the cabin. We just turned around and left until... It's hard to describe. Until the only thing we could see was the same cabin going on forever. And then you told us that the world ended and we died. And then we woke up and it seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have
you
seen.
weren't supposed to have seen.
Only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your... Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
Yes, contrarian, let's go. She has a different expression in one of them. Oh, those are 3 things. Try and free her, leave her in the basement, slay the princess. Those are all selected at once.
I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you?
We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in.
So there's a depressed princess. That might be the semblance of the princess we interact with if we simply kill her.
You're not really cut out for this, are you? Why are you even here?
Good question.
Is this a quiz? You're the one who came down here, and with a sharp, sharp knife, too.
But you know, right? You have to know. You're the only other person I've ever seen, or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope. Please just end this already. One way or another, just
She's
do
like
it.
our iteration of the Broken, like a flip of us.
Don't
both know why I'm locked away here. I'm a monster, and the second I get out of this place, I'm going to end the entire world.
Okay, this was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? Can't even follow what's going on anymore.
Like, roll with it. Yeah, it's glass breaking every
We need
time.
to get out of here. This whole...
There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was.
This is one of the first times that an explore interaction has changed the current scene.
I don't feel like I've gotten any bigger. It must be fear creeping into your heart.
You know you can't stop me.
Do you need help? Not that there's much I can do all chained up like this, but
That's the the one that meets with the smitten.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her. How would we even do that? You would always start by stab which? Her. Any of them. I don't know about you.
Maybe not.
I'm sure glad we took that knife with us. I can't believe someone suggested you toss it out. This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. But how do we decide what to do? Can there even... Stop overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, just do something. Do...
Everything.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions.
It's intense how, despite me choosing a series of ways of interacting with this, everything we've done to engage with the princess has felt like an escalation of a singular plotline. And that does make me wonder if the order you do these various endings in creates a permutation in the endings themselves. If we do the contrarian at first, is it like this?
Strike at her bindings and leave her to languish alone.
You charge forward, you strike at her bindings and leave her to languish alone. You try to slay her, you leave her alone, you go up the stairs.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating.
You might understand, contrarian.
Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves. Falls apart?
We're not done yet.
I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
He can't be here because the world's done.
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and others, they just don't fit. They just don't fit.
Let's bring her every perspective.
We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, but I'm with you.
Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences.
I mean, kind of. Yeah.
It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
It's going to be okay. But you'll never know if she hears you reply. She's gone. That achievement is the illusion of choice.
Where did she go?
Of all the achievements I've gotten here, the one achievement that was rarest was when we killed the god version.
And there's that. No.
And the achievements that were subsequent to that, because there was a second one after that.
This does. Yeah, don't look.
You are nothing at all. Okay, now we can see a bit of a beak. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection.
I think you know what I am.
The narrator. A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. This is the 5th iteration. Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
The visuals of this are delightful. I think I have a limited number of questions. Why did you want me to slay the princess is a good thing to ask. What is the princess? Did you make her too?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb
and flow, the capacity
to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be.
She becomes that which others perceive her to be.
Things, not in the way that people can.
An echo can't perceive. So the narrator himself is an echo. The narrator cannot affect the princess. We can affect the princess, which is why the narrator needs us.
So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone.
Save everyone how? If she is change, if she's ebb and flow, what's the purpose of destroying that? That's not a correct act to take. Why would you want me to destroy the concept of transformation is a good one. Oh, that's interesting. I gained new options while still preserving my older options, and I'm certain I have a limited number of questions. And I just will her into something small. I'm not going to try and Stay Puft Marshmallow the princess. Birds and Zechian propaganda. I'm supposed to see all this. Why did you make her a princess? Why is she a princess? How am I supposed to destroy an abstract concept? Do they know about this? What's it supposed to do? Why would you want me to destroy the concept of transformation?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed.
Ridding the world of death. So I can ask, do they know about this? The people out there beyond the walls of the construct. I could ask, why is she a princess? Why did you make... What am I?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid
We
the world
are
of
the
death.
long quiet. Yes, we are nothing. Good. Now we know. So, yeah, we're not, as nothingness, we are antithetical to change. But not directly antithetical to change. Others like you. Narrator. Part of me, something else. It isn't the role of nothing or the long quiet to will her into being something else. we've already imprisoned her within the Long Quiet, somehow. It doesn't matter whether or not he's a god. The reason she's a princess is something symbolic. Do they know about this?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
Born with death. This is a construct that is supposed to end death by ending change, destroying an abstract concept. I'm certain that we could destroy an abstract concept. The Long Quiet can't be nothing because it is something. It is somehow nothingness manifest. We had an opportunity to tell the princess something about contradiction. We had the opportunity to say something about contradictions not being real. But it seems that we're one as well. I would have helped you destroy her? No. That's not something he can know. Are you a part of me or something else? Others like you. You're the narrator. I'm a god. I don't want to be a god. There are so many dialogue choices. What would it be like to live in a world without her? You know that things won't just be worse if I destroy her.
Of course there won't be worse. I saw a glimpse of a better world, and I did what I could to make it real. Anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
But change cannot be the harbinger of oblivion. And if your goal is to envelop change with a god that is oblivion, that can't work. What's it like?
Light. Burdenless. An eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear. No more howling chaos. Just life. Forever. There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself.
Because this has to be sequestered in order for it to happen. Because this is a prison. Hubris. I don't actually think death is important. I'll never make that argument.
It wouldn't work. Her nature as the shifting mound makes it so nothing can last forever as it is now. It wouldn't matter how long the two of you waited. Eventually she would find a way to leave. And then everything would change. Everything would face oblivion. And until then, the clock ticked.
The narrators haven't been different, they've been fragments of him, I would say. It doesn't matter whether or not it hurts. I think he probably should be destroyed. Parts of him break, I understand. I don't think he is a part of me, he's something outside. I might want to dig further on that. How did you die? I don't know if I had that option before. I feel like that's new, different. How did you die?
I killed myself. It had to be done, really. None of this would have worked if I was still alive. Nobody living could know about her.
Why is she a princess rather than why did you make her a princess is probably a question worth hearing the answer to.
Are you asking me to spend my final moments psychoanalyzing you? She wound up a princess because you wanted her to be a princess.
We want change to be a princess.
Maybe she needed to be beautiful, important, above you, but on a level you could still approach. A herald of things to come. I don't know. Gods are supposed to be beyond comprehension. I really shouldn't try and anthropomorphize you like this.
Death of the author. Run out of questions is an achievement.
So I am. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away.
He's not real. He's the echo of a once living person, engraved into the construct to serve this purpose. He no longer has any will, any animus. As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator was right. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find, because I understand her now. She is the mound. She is change.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me.
We're both gods. You the god of change, and myself, nothing.
It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Do chaos and nothingness yearn for each other?
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
I ultimately agree with that.
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it?
It must be. I'm nothing after all.
When the echoes spun us from one into two.
Spun us from one into two.
And me a role to play.
I see.
I am not death, but I contain it in my multitude.
Nothing is the only thing that is unchanging. Everything that is something is subject to change. The two of us together are reality. It's only possible to kill us if we're separate. To kill either part of us. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes.
Will you attempt to
because
destroy
she's
me in another
everything and
world
I'm
devoid
nothing.
of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
It is not correct for reality to be unraveled. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of
Beginning and end.
end.
Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us. Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. Final peace lies with you. You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here except for her is you. You feel your wings, spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonized tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
I love you.
Yes, the way for us to escape this is to rejoin each other. All at once, the unyielding tension breaks. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality, something that simply is. What a peculiar visual. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist, and you are aware, just as you have always been and just as you will always be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. There are no endings, only new beginnings. That was a delightful, inventive game. Very, very macabre, very existential. And it's just very satisfying all throughout. And I did get the sense, in the end, that I was able to make meaningful choices and influence the story. Now, of course, I experienced 5 iterations of princesses, and provided the infinite with 5 hearts. I don't think it necessarily matters which 5 hearts you provide. That's simply your personal experience. And the fact that is the case is tremendous. We had so many opportunities along the way to experience different facets of all. But the princess is just existence. She's just being itself. The half of existence that is change and the half of existence that is not change. The music was lovely too. So what I want to do now is scan over what all of the achievements are to see how many of them aren't hidden. There's probably a lot of hidden achievements. I do get the sense that I could probably gain something by replaying through the game, but I would rather go back and watch other people's playthroughs, even if some of them will discover the same things I discovered. Oh, special thanks, listening to a lot of different streamers and folks. We got the achievement, Our Song Finished the Game, The Good Ending Doesn't Count. What's the good ending? So much for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI by hitting H. Okay. Wait, let's see if I can get the screenshot. Okay, yeah, sure. Our Song. I get the feeling that this is my playthrough because this is the order that I experienced things in. You know, the Princess, the World Eater, the Eye of the Needle. The Eye of the Needle was the first instance of Chapter 3 that I ran into. The Gray was the second instance of Chapter 3 that I ran into. An empty void that dared to dream it was alive. That would be the like flesh weirdness princess. Mutually assured destruction was Blade Princess. And to be everything was the contrarian end. Now that you've finished the full story for the first time, you've also unlocked the gallery. It's full of clues that will help you find undiscovered vessels and interactions. Happy hunting. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I love that they did this here. Discord, mailing list, subreddit. Follow us somewhere else, make your playlist, play our other game. Let's go back to the main menu. So, we can even reset the gallery. Holy crap. So if I look into memories, beginnings and endings. So this is the hero and the princess, the spaces between, and the end of everything. And presumably that's like the whole thing of it. And in terms of vessels, we got to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I suppose we got to see 8 vessels. I see. These are our Chapter 2 vessels, and these are our Chapter 3 vessels. So the adversary is the first one we ran into when we fought the princess. The tower, doubt forces the hand of fealty. The tower was the princess we ran into when we, what's it called? The tower was the princess we ran into when we gave up. Slay her without a moment's hesitation. So that would be the one where we slay her and walk away. Lock your fears away. Not sure what that one is. I think, that's the one where we leave her locked in the basement. The razor, to look too closely, is to redraw the lines. That is where we stabbed her and then looked back. Fall to a feral captive, all right? Betray her before she can betray you. I'm assuming that one is we try to let her out for a while and then stab her in the back. The stranger, a peek behind the curtains, likely far too soon. I think the ending where we got the tower, we actually, we let the narrator drive the betrayal, but we didn't follow through with that to kill her. The stranger, a peek behind the curtains, likely far too soon, and that's when we take the contrarian ending. And the stranger is actually a vessel that we see in Chapter 2 that doesn't have a Chapter 3. Free an abrasive prisoner. I'm assuming that one we have to take the knife downstairs, drop it, and then set her free. And the damsel, unquestioning commitment to the other. That one is when we just try to set her free, and that's the only thing we do. We go down with no knife, we let her out. We get the Eye of the Needle. Those who dwell in caves, meaning lies beyond the shadow, dancing on the wall. The way we got to the Eye of the Needle was by getting killed by the adversary. The Fury. We got to the Fury by killing the tower. One might resist the divine, but it's very hard to kill a god. There's no shame in failing. This is likely if we fail to kill the tower. Sometimes you cut something out of you, a piece of you leaves with it. No idea. Kill your worst dreams or be killed by the ghost of your past. Better to linger with your nightmares than to let them run wild. Okay. Other ways to die to nature than to let it swallow you whole. Become one with the princess in a very literal sense. May involve but does not necessitate being eaten. All right. Sometimes the only way to break a vicious cycle is to put your heart on the line. When you've seen the worst sights the prison of the world can offer, you can always choose to walk away empty-handed. I presume that is something on, maybe on third iteration, walk away. The Gray, feelings buried like knives and hearts. You don't need the world for your happy ending. All right, interesting. So I may return to this to look into some other stuff. I'm going to watch some other people's playthroughs first. If I come back to this again, it'll probably be like later into November, December-ish. That was a ton of fun.